can feel the tension in the air as we move into race day here in Monaco. It's a track that requires the full concentration of the drivers with zero margin for error. It tests their skills to the absolute limits, so no wonder it remains a fan favourite. We're on the French Riviera once more this weekend at the 2-mile-long Circuit de Monaco. The cars will climb around 40 metres up the hill, past the casino, and then descend towards the harbour through Sector 2. It's a very short run from pole position to the first of 19 corners, and don't expect to see much overtaking here today. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position, edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Russell, Leclerc, Hamilton, Sainz, Ocon, Fernando Alonso, Oscar Piastri, Hülkenberg, Perez, Magnussen, Tsunoda, Albon, Joe, Stroll, the owner driver, Sargent, Ricciardo, Gasly, Bottas, and Kamui Kobayashi. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track where preparations are underway.
Welcome to Driving Immersion for the immersive racing experience. We drive full-length races with full simulation settings, damage, fuel use, tire wear, and weather. From the driver's cockpit using a Fanatec CSL DD Plus force feedback wheel and load cell pedal set. If you enjoy the racing here at Driving Immersion, give us a like and subscribe. It helps us reach other race fans like you. In addition, you'll be notified when the next race is available. Our content is on Facebook in HD and on YouTube in Ultra HD. We are here in Monte Carlo for the Grand Prix of Monaco. Easily in the top two of the most difficult tracks to drive in the season, Hungary being the other difficult track.
This is not going to be an easy race from this position, but just give it your best shot.
We are far back in the pack in P17, and here is our strategy for the race. We're going to go for a one-stop. Quick look at our setup, and it's very much similar to the high downforce preset, with a couple of little ticks here and there in change. Here we're stiffening the front suspension just a little bit, but you can see here that the rest of it is standard with the high downforce setup. And for tires, we're going to give it a little bit of air in there. A lot of setups require either full air or minimum air, and we're just going to go somewhere near the middle. And here we're going to reduce our fuel load down to 81 laps out of 78 because there's going to be a lot of accelerating and decelerating and hopefully hard driving in this race. So here we go for our formation lap. Down the pit straight into turn 1, which is a very sharp right-hander. And they're trying to make this corner
right, let's get the car up to temperature on this lap, please. We're learning the gears, so let's go through them all if you can.
A little bit more of a corner every time they redesign the track. And turn 2, Beau Rivage. Turn 3, Massenet. Right here to the left. Quick flick to the right, and that is turn 4 by the casino.
No rain expected for the time being.
Down to turn 5 here, very slow. All the way down to first gear, and we're going to build the transmission back up to third gear before we get to turn 6. And this is the Grand Hotel hairpin. Again to the left. Very quickly to turn 7 to the right. And then turn 8 here as we exit into the tunnel. This is Portier. Turn 9, sweeping to the right here under the tunnel. Turn 10 and turn 11, the Nouvelle chicane. Short sprint down to turn 12 here to the left. And this is Stavak. Turn 13 and 14. By the pool, 15 and 16. Up ahead, Larascas, turn 17. Turn 18. Past the pit entrance. And then right where that DRS sign is, turn 19, a very slight left. So here we go into our grid spot. Again, we're starting off from P17 on a track that's very difficult to pass, so we have our race made for us. When the lights go out, it's a go. And it looks like Max Verstappen here in pole position gets off to a flying start. Here's the rest of the field coming into turn 1. And we are going to get pushed out just a little bit, and we're going to ride over the curb. So unfortunately, our teammate is in very last place, starting off in P22. We don't know exactly what happened, but with the engine change, the car had become very slow in the last race and this one as well. And that may be the reason why we are in P17, but this is a very difficult track to begin with. Gotta give it back. The challenge here is to pass, which is very difficult to do. And a lot of times, if your car is not fast enough, it's just going to be 78 parade laps. Hopefully that's not the case for today. Coming out of the tunnel here, we're going to dive right through the Nouvelle Chicane. I believe that is Joe in a green Sauber behind us now. Coming in through 15 and 16, down to turn 17, Larascas. Turn 18 here, just past the pit entrance, and again 19, right where you see that DRS sign. Down the pit straight. So after one lap, we are up 2 places. Now in 15th, up ahead, Alex Albon in the Williams in the blue car. And here it looks like we dive under the Williams in Mervo. Again through the hairpin. From the nose cam here of Alex Albon in the Williams, that is the 66 ahead, and the 66 is going to get ahead of, I believe that is Yuki Tsunoda through the Nouvelle Chicane. Yes, it is. So a lot of passing in the very opening laps here at the Grand Prix of Monaco. Up ahead now, Magnussen in the Haas. So after just a couple of laps, we are figuring out where the car is very strong and able to pass. Right now, with this set of hard tires, before it gets worn, we have very good grip. And we are now right up to the wing of the Haas here. Down through the hairpin. Turn 7 to the right. Turn 8.
No tire concerns.
And the secret here to being able to pass before you get to the chicane is to be right under the wing of the car ahead of you. And you can see here that, again, the 66 is gotten by Magnussen. So now by the end of lap 3, we have moved up 5 spots on grid. Now the car ahead is the Red Bull of Sergio Perez, and we do expect him to be fast. Down the pit straight again, start lap 4 of 78. And as we look at the 66 by the casino, you can see here that Sergio Perez has put on a little bit of a lead. Coming in through Merbo. And the hairpin once again. So as we exit out of turn 8, you can see here that he's got a good distance from us. And not even the ERS is going to get us up under his wing. So in order to be able to pass here before the Nouvelle chicane, again, you have to be right under the wing of the car ahead of you, but you need to build that or reduce that distance throughout the lap, starting from turn 1. Very sharp corners here. You can see there that the 66 understeers through 18. Coming in through turn 1 and up the hill through turn 3. And there is the casino there just on the left of your screen. Very wide at turn 5 for the number 66. Now again, I think you need to be a little bit closer than this. You can see here that Sergio Perez gets a very good jump out of turn 8. And he is more than just a few car lengths coming into the chicane. So no shot for the 66 this time around. Fortunately, it's a whole 78 laps of racing here. And this should give us time to be able to figure it out. And in the background there, you can see the mountains and cliff sides.
Okay, you're within 1 second of the car ahead. Get ready to use DRS for the overtake.
So this time coming in through turn 1, we are a little bit closer to Sergio Perez.
The car behind is dropping back by about 3/10 a lap. Well done.
And if we can keep this distance coming out of turn 8, we should be able to pass him down into the chicane. But before then, the 66 is going to dive down to turn 5. And you have to close the door here very quickly, and he does on Sergio Perez. So coming in through turn 6, we are ahead of Sergio Perez in the second Red Bull. Up ahead is the McLaren of Oscar Piastri. Looking on from Sergio Perez, that is the 66 as we head down through turn 10 and turn 11 at the Nouvelle chicane. And that was a very good pass coming in through the hairpin. It can happen, but it's very rare. So coming into 18 and 19 here, you can see that we are just under the wing of the McLaren, using the ERS and DRS. Coming in through turn 1 and up the hill. Turn 2 and turn 3. That is the casino, the building you see there on the right. And right by that yellow crane is a bump in the road that we've been having to avoid for many, many years here at Monaco. So you kind of have to swing to the right just a little bit and then make your way back to the left as you approach turn 5, just to make the turn a little bit wider. But down under the tunnel through turn 10 and 11 again. We have a very good view of the marina on the left, and there's the pool right there to the right. Coming in through turn 17, and again that is the pit entrance there to the right. Very short entrance, so you do have to slow down but you are already going slow coming in through 17.
Very difficult.
Yes, again, very few places to pass here. Very wide at the entrance of Mirabeau. And this is the tailpipe view.
Should have a good run this time.
From the McLaren, you can see here that the 66 is very close. However, McLaren's closing the door, but we are going to force him to the right as we are wheel to wheel coming into turn 10 at the start of the chicane, or the beginning of the chicane. And we are ahead of Oscar Piastri in the McLaren. Very big slide there coming out of turn 18, just trying to put the power down. Looks like Oscar Piastri is not going to give up too easy. And we are wheel to wheel coming into turn 1. And you can see here that now that we've gotten ahead, he's going to have to put quite a big effort into getting by if he wants to pass. Exit out of turn 8 is very important as we go through the sweeping right and one of the longer straights on this track.
Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them.
The front tires are a little bit slippery.
Again, the Monaco Grand Prix is considered a very difficult track in the calendar. And you can see here that there's very few runoffs. There is one here to the left here in turn 1. But again, you'll still have to stop the cars. It's not very long. But here throughout the circuit, there's just no getting away with coming off track. And right now in the lap 10, with all the traffic that we've had to drive through, we haven't rubbed the wall or scraped the wall, but we do expect that that will happen eventually. And I think here at the Grand Prix of Monaco, just as last year, the cars just seem to be a little bit more robust, so they can take a little bit of a brush with the walls. Except that into turn 10, that very orange guardrail will knock off a wheel or spin you around if you just touch it a little bit. So you want to make sure that you got the car slowed enough to make that left turn in a quick right. Same thing here in turn 18, that very sharp right-hander, that yellow barrier. It's a little bit of a soft wall, but it's very easy to rub against because you just have to be very close to it in order to make the apex to the turn. And you can see here that we are slowly approaching the Haas just in front of us. And from the T-cam here of the 66, you can see the elevation loss or gain coming in through the chicane. Again, this is the exit out of turn 8 under the tunnel, and you can see here that we are very close to the Haas, and we are going to try to make a run for it. And right now we are ahead, but he's just there on the very left. And again,
That was tough.
you have to close the door very fast before you get into the chicane. There's really not a lot of room for two cars to get in there. Unless one of you wants to go over the curb on the right. So now after 11 laps, we are up to 9th place. Again, we are in a points-paying position. So we're very fortunate to have made it this far in just a short number of laps. And again, without any damage or collisions.
I don't know how these tires are going to last 40 laps.
Up ahead again, we are very close at the exit of turn 8
Nice overtake.
as we take Esteban Ocon in the Alpine under the tunnel. Again, a very fortuitous place to be able to pass, as it's a lot more wide open than anywhere else on the track. But again, it does sweep to the right. Your vision is a little bit limited because you are under the tunnel. And it is pretty bright under there with the lights, but again, it's not as bright as the daylight that you see here. Past the pit straight to start lap 13. That is Carlos Sainz in a Ferrari just ahead of us. And we are going to do the same thing here, or at least make an attempt to do so, just be under his wing. Again, we've been pretty successful passing through the tunnel, coming into the Nouvelle Chicane, turn 10. So it's very important that we are right with him here as we exit out of turn 8. So here we go. You can see here that the car is very slow coming into turn 8, but we have it in 3rd gear just to avoid any wheel spin, having too much power in through the tires. And there we go, we make the pass on the Ferrari. Very close to the wall there on turn 19. Again, the DRS sign is turn 19. Very slight left-hander coming out of 18. Again, the Ferrari of Carlos Sainz not giving up so easy. So there you saw from the crane all the cars that we've been passing through the start of the race. Which we didn't expect at all because the car was so slow, 1.47 seconds off the lead. Especially on this very tight course. Not a lot of room for mistakes. Coming in through the pool area. Starting lap 15, we are behind Fernando Alonso in the Aston Martin, just ahead of him, Lewis Hamilton in the Mercedes. Very slow at the hairpin.
It's going to be tough. These two are very close together.
And having a look at Fernando Alonso. just not close enough this time around. After a couple of laps, you can see here that Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari is already 1.8 seconds behind. So right now, this set of hard tires is serving us well, considering the car was so slow in qualifying and actually very slow in the practice sessions as well. It was very hard to accomplish any resource points in the practices. So right here, coming out of turn 8, we're very close to Fernando Alonso. Let's see how close we are. And see if we can make a pass this time around. And you can see there that he is trying to cover the left and right as we are able to get by him in turn 10. So right now, the number 66 has a very good jump start out of turn 8, and that allows us to have passed a few cars already. Coming in through turn 1, that is Lewis Hamilton and the Mercedes just ahead. Passing by the casino on their right. As we dive down into turn 5, 66 is going to get just underneath Lewis Hamilton and make a pass. Coming in through the hairpin. There we are. Pass completed. And down through the tunnel.
For now, everything's looking good.
Very hard braking into turn 10. Turn 11. Again, a very nice view of the marina here at Monaco. Crossing the start-finish line, you can see there that Lewis Hamilton is not giving up too easy. Right now he's got his DRS open. But the DRS zone here at Monaco is very short. Past the casino once again. That is Lewis Hamilton and Fernando Alonso. Just behind in number 66 coming into the hairpin. Quick left and a right through the pool section.
Okay, so that's a half a second.
So after less than half a lap, we've got a half a second above, better than Lewis Hamilton, just behind. Coming Coming in through the hairpin, we always downshift the first gear just to give a little weight to the front tires, but we make sure that we exit in second gear just to avoid any wheel spin upon acceleration, and we do that for a lot of the very slow, sharp corners. And there you see it, the buildings all around here in Monte Carlo modeled very well here in F124, as they have been for a few years now. Very great detail for the structures around the track. Coming in through turn 1, we are 5.5 seconds behind Charles Leclerc,
And we are not using as much gas
in the Ferrari.
for some reason. So we
Yes, I
lost
think
some
the
time
reason
the car ahead.
we're not using a lot of fuel here during the race is that we are upshifting early on a lot of the very slow turns just to avoid any wheel spin upon exit, like here in turn 8. You can see there that as we reach the higher RPM range for the motor, that the horsepower just breaks the grip on the rear tires, and you kind of avoid that having a bigger gear.
Okay, so all of our tyre pressure data is currently reading 0. Assuming they still look inflated to you, we're going to guess that it's just a bad sensor. Shouldn't be anything to worry about.
Tires look good.
So lap 21 of 78, you can see there the tire wear in the
Gap to
lower
the
right
car
hand.
in front, 6.8 seconds.
Lower right hand of the screen that we are 7 and 9 and 8% wear. So very good wear here for the hard tires. And it used to be many years ago that the soft tires were the way to go here at Monaco. But as the cars became bigger and bigger, it became harder and harder to make a pass simply because of the space on the track. So in recent years, the teams had decided to go with fewer lap or fewer pit stops and go longer on the tire sets. So in the past few years, the mediums and the hard tires have been the favorites here. Starting lap 22. There on the steering wheel, you can see the fuel surplus that we have. We started out with an extra 2 laps of fuel. You can see now that we have built that up to 2.91 on lap 22. And there's the train of cars that the 66 is leading through the hairpin. But right now, even Lewis Hamilton, who is just right behind us, is not close enough to challenge or make a pass. In through the Nouvelle chicane.
Tires are not bad. We are losing time. The car is in front.
And out of the pool section again, you can see there the white tires that we have on. And again, those are the higher tires. I believe a lot of the teams are going for a single stop. And these hard tires are actually scheduled to change somewhere in around lap 40 or so. And we'll see how the other teams do. We actually do have a few extra sets of the soft red tires. But again, I don't believe there are any cars on the track right now that are on the red tires, simply because they want to stay on the track and keep their track position throughout the race. Exiting 48, turn 8 into the tunnel. We are riding with Lewis Hamilton in the Mercedes. That is the number 66 just ahead, coming into turn 10. And turn 11. Again, from the front bumper of the Mercedes, a nice view of the skyline here at Monaco. And the section that we just passed through, very difficult to avoid all of those
0.4 seconds.
barriers that
Sounds like the engine seems to go flat as we get into turn 1.
barriers that jut out onto the track. But right now we've got all 4 wheels and all of our wing intact. Watching the number 66 come down through turn 5 once again. So right now Lewis Hamilton very close behind, but not a chance to make a pass right now. And again, doesn't look very close here as we exit turn 8. Back on board with the 66. And from the cockpit you can see that we are obviously turning the steering wheel to come in through the turns, but when you're driving through this track, the steering wheel that's in your hands is actually moving, at least appearing to move a lot faster. And a lot of these turns that you're making here, you're basically flipping or flicking the car through. So a lot of the turns here are very abrupt and taken very quickly, even though it's a slow track. So coming through to start another lap, we've got a comfortable distance between the 66 and Lewis Hamilton just behind. Here is turn 1. Coming into the casino, turn 4, Lewis Hamilton again, just under our wing. immersive perspective here from the exhaust camera of the number 66, very low to the tarmac, and that is Lewis Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, and I believe Oscar Piastri in the orange McLaren, third car behind. Coming in through the start-finish line, turn 1, up the hill, and a very abrupt left-hander. You can see the casino there on the left of your screen as we come in through turn 4, take a dive down through turn 5, and it's going to enter into this very slow section here again with the hairpin. And there you see it, the Mercedes of Lewis Hamilton on 3 wheels. And this is the entrance into the tunnel, exit out of turn 8. Again from the rear exhaust camera of the number 66. The marina here on your left. And then the pool right there on your right. The all structure that you see there on the right are the pit garages. And again, right here on the right is the entrance into pit lane. So lap 29 of 78, circling around right now around the track. We are trying to just stay ahead of Lewis Hamilton, still within 1 second of the number 66. And you can see here that we are now 11 seconds behind Charles Leclerc in a Ferrari, so he is going faster. And we're losing about half a second to 7/10 of a second every lap to him as we circle. And a quick shot in the camera there, the cliff sides here at the Principality of Monte Carlo.
Really slid out to the wall.
Coming again through the tunnel, we are a third through the race, and right now no damage to the car. So that is very fortunate for now. And there you see it, the very tall curb on the right of turn 10. Again, they're very quick flick to the left and the right to the pool section. La Rascasse here.
No doubt.
start-finish line once again to start lap 33. We are at the Grand Prix of Monaco on this temporary street track. It's temporary, but we've been racing on it for more than 50 years. And it hasn't changed much since the very start. But the cars should have changed, and you can see here that we are very slow through the hairpin. The cars are much bigger than when the race first started here more than 50 years ago. So now in 2024, very hard to pass. And that's probably the second biggest challenge here at the Grand Prix of Monaco. I would say that the first challenge here is to not touch the walls with the car. There are a couple of the barriers that are somewhat forgiving, but for the most part, the barriers here are very close to the track. And again, very unforgiving. And you'll usually break something if you're going to charge into the barrier too hard.
Cars are definitely understeering.
So one of the things that you'll find here, even though we are racing with a set of the hard tires, is that you can overheat them, even though they don't wear very fast. But once they get overheated, they tend to lose grip. And here in the middle of the race, the tires are actually in still pretty good shape. But if they become overheated, you will start to lose a lot of grip. I believe that is where we are getting our understeer. And you can see here the temperatures on the steering wheel. The rear tires are a lot warmer than the front tires. And essentially we are controlling the grip on the rear tires with a higher gear as we accelerate out of the corners. Having a look here at Lewis Hamilton. Very close look at his front wing on the left side. The end plate is missing. So somewhere along the line he may have touched the wall. Just so happened to miss that. And you can see here that there is quite a lot of space now between the 66 of Mars Medina and Lewis Hamilton in the Mercedes. So it's very evident that he is going slower. And right behind we still have Fernando Alonso. And I believe that would be Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari.
Looks like we put some time on Lewis for now.
A look from above the hairpin, we've got Lewis Hamilton cleared right now. Again, just a couple of laps ago, we saw that he was missing the end plate on the left side of his front wing, so he will be going slower. This is a high downforce track, but again, it's not very fast.
And gap to the car in front, 16.1 seconds.
So it's very possible that he may be able to handle lapping around without that end plate, but he definitely should get it changed. Again, track position here is very important, and that's maybe why he's deciding to continue going around. If he does stop, he will be behind the other cars, and he will have to change, obviously, his pit strategy. On the exit of turn 8. And we just passed through 2 of the left side barriers through turn 10 and turn 11 that are not very forgiving. Touch those barriers in any way with the car, it's definitely going to break the car, if not turn you around. Having a look at the standings, we are now 17 seconds behind Charles Leclerc. So even though we've left the rest of the field with Lewis Hamilton behind us, we are being dropped very quickly by Charles Leclerc. Nearly a second a lap. And again, a lot of the pit strategies here are going to be very similar. There you see it, Lewis Hamilton without his left side wing end. Still managing to keep the other cars behind in 6th place. Now again, very hard to pass here at Monaco, but I would think that Fernando Alonso should take a chance somewhere, and it would just be something that he would do. So a long train of cars now behind Lewis Hamilton with a broken wing.
No issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them. Gap to your teammate behind, 23.5 seconds.
So lap 39 of 78, you can see here that
You're pulling out a second a lap on the car behind. Really good stuff.
Our tire wear is very well maintained, only 15% in the rear, 14 in the front. Kind of makes you wonder what it would be like with a set of red tires, but again, you would have to pit more often and lose a lot of track position as a result.
Okay, so gap to the car ahead, 17.8 seconds.
Continue to watch Lewis Hamilton with a broken wing. We are expecting him to come in and have that fixed, but we are very close to the pit windows. So again, he may just be holding out until then. In the meantime, he is holding back a long train of cars just behind him. reminder to please like and share and subscribe. It helps us reach other race fans like you. Up through turn 4 and past the casino on the right. Again, a very deep dive here to turn 5. As we start going downhill, turn 6, the hairpin, turn 7, and another right, we enter the casino. This is the view from the back of Lewis Hamilton's car, and that is Fernando Alonso in the Aston Martin just behind. Very close here as we come in through turn 7 and turn 8, and that is the Ferrari of Carlos Sainz just behind Alonso. Somebody's got to try to make a move here on Lewis Hamilton, and there you see it, another puff of smoke coming from the Mercedes. That is about the second or third time that we've seen a little cloud of smoke coming in from behind his car. Still continues to lap pretty well here, keeping Fernando Alonso behind.
Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 19.6 seconds.
That gap is not going to get any better.
Back on board with the 66. We continue to lose time to Charles Leclerc and the Ferrari up ahead. And it's just about a second a lap that we are losing to him, so he is going faster, or we're going slower.
These tires are actually doing well, but they're not going to be able to do anything heroic.
Having a look at the steering wheel, this lap is 1.3 seconds behind our fastest lap. So it's likely that the car is going slower as a result of these tires
Wide
getting
in the
old.
apex there. Have not been able to nail that corner.
Back on board with Fernando Alonso, that is Lewis Hamilton, able to keep him behind with a broken wing. And this is turn 10, a very good spot to make a pass if you're close enough to the car in front of you, but nothing going right here for Fernando Alonso. He remains behind Lewis Hamilton, continuing to lose time throughout the race.
We're approaching the pit window and you're going to be on mediums.
So there we got the call from the pits that we are
The car behind started to drop back. There's a gap beginning to form. Let's make the most of it.
able to come in and change the tires out without too much of a track penalty if we needed to, if they were worn out. But right now you can see there on the lower right of the screen, the tires are still in very good shape. Only 17% wear after 40 laps.
It's a little better that time.
Continue to watch Lewis Hamilton in the broken Mercedes as we expect him to come in and change out of the tires as well as possibly repair that wing. There's simply just no benefit keeping that wing on at this time as he is losing time. So not the pits here for the number 66 this time around.
Stop reminding me.
Having a look at the standings once again, we are 21 seconds now behind Charles Leclerc. But this on your screen is Lewis Hamilton continuing to lose time. Scrolling through the standings, you can see here that Lando Norris has come in to change out of his tires. And those are going to be a set of mediums. There we are. We just confirmed they are the yellow striped tires. And that is going to be George Russell coming around, and Charles Leclerc passing
Gonna go for 3 more laps.
And so there we heard a little communication from Mars Medina. We are going to go another 3 laps on this set of hard tires, as they are still in pretty good shape. We are watching Max Verstappen in the lead, and we are waiting for him to come in to change out of his tires as the cars are starting to come into the pits. And there he is in the lead, coming in to change out of his first set of tires, which were the hard tires, putting on a second set of the yellows. And this should get him to the end of the race. Scrolling through the other cars, you can see here that we've got a lot of cars coming in.
No need to worry about the tyre condition
On
for
lap
now.
46.
Everything's looking good.
Kevin Magnussen, Carlos Sainz in the Ferrari. And George Russell in the Mercedes coming in to change out of his tires. That is Charles Leclerc just behind him as they came in together to change their tires. So again, lap 47 of 78. This should do it for the pit stops for the other cars. We are waiting now for the number 66 driving immersion of Mars Medina to come in and change his tires. And I believe that is going to be the next lap, as it is 48. Oh, very wide there, coming into turn 5. And that would be just enough to scare you, as you'll knock off a wheel if you rub the barrier hard enough. So I believe this time the 66 will come in. Crossing the start-finish line, we are going to go for at least 1 more lap on this set of hard tires. Again, looking at the fuel surplus on the upper right of the steering wheel, we are now 4.67 laps of extra fuel. So the car does save a lot of fuel, or make gas basically, when you are short shifting. Again, we are doing that here just to avoid wheel spin from the rear tires, as you heard there. as
Boxes
a
lap.
consequence, we are saving fuel. There you heard it. We are boxing this lap. There you have it, the entrance to pit lane. And I believe the 66 is the last pit box. Yes, it is. New set of tires, and these are the mediums. Again, this will take us to the end of the race. As we exit the pits right here, we have to stay on the right of the yellow line until we come around turn 1. Back to Lewis Hamilton, still a broken wing, still has not stopped. So we are watching Max Verstappen coming in through the field, starting to lap cars in the back. And you can see there the blue lights flashing on the light boxes around the track. And this is Lewis Hamilton, but that is not Max behind, that is Sergio Perez.
Lost a lot of time. Don't know how.
And as we come in through turn 8, we got to look there at Lewis Hamilton. He does have a set of the yellows now, so it's very possible that he did come in to change tires but did not fix the wing. Another look there at the steering wheel, and you can see now that the number 66 has a surplus of 5 laps of fuel. And if my memory serves me right, the latest calculations for extra fuel is that for every lap of extra fuel, you are losing about 3 to 6 tenths of a second, depending on the track. So So right now that extra fuel is extra weight that we're carrying that is giving away our time here. As we drop down into turn 8, we are going to enter the tunnel once again. Lap 52 of 78, we are in 5th place. And we are 15 seconds ahead of Lewis Hamilton. And looking at the timing here on the left, you can see now that we are 36 seconds behind Charles Leclerc, who is in 4th place, and I believe that time difference is from coming into the pits very close on to the wall of turn 19.
Okay, gap ahead, 38.1 seconds.
We've been on this set of tires now for more than 5 laps, and the car still drives very differently. Actually not quite as grippy as the hard tires for some reason. Maybe they're overheated. Nose cam of the number 66, very close there to the barrier on turn 11, and above view of the marina as we circle around the pool, coming in through La Rascasse, past the pit entry, and there is the wall on turn 19, very close on the exit.
Virtual safety car. Reduce speed immediately and keep a positive delta. Right, drop your speed. Our delta's too low and we're going to risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately.
So there you see it on the HUD. Esteban Ocon out of the race as we are driving through a virtual safety car right now. And that just means that everybody is to slow down and everybody's going to keep their distance. So if you start getting too close to the car ahead of you, you're going too fast and you will be penalized.
Virtual safety car is ending. Maintain your pace until we get the green flags. VSC ending. Wait for the greens.
So there you saw it on the light box on the left as we go through the tunnel. The green flag is back out. Back to racing for the 66. Ourselves here, coming in past the casino, comfortably ahead of the cars behind, but now we are continuously losing time to the car ahead, which is Charles Leclerc and a Ferrari.
That's not right. Look at all that extra fuel, my God.
Lap 55 of 78, still a lot of racing left as we overdo it here, just could not brake enough, and we're going to drive through the chicane at 10 and 11.
And gap to the car in front, 41.1 seconds.
And another lap lap is another lap behind, or another second behind Charles Leclerc. So lap 56 of 78, a very lucky race here for the number 66. When we came in after the practice sessions, our car was very slow. Again, qualified 1.4 seconds behind on this very short, very tight track. So definitely not a very fast car here for the weekend. And that is why we're losing time to Charles Leclerc up ahead. But we are able to get away from the rest of the field here just because Lewis Hamilton is circling the track with a broken wing. So again, very lucky for the 66. This is P5 for right now. And if we can maintain this, obviously a points paying position. And a good way to finish the weekend with a very slow car. And the Driving Immersion team had a very fast car until the last race in Imola, where we had changed out of the first engine and the car started to go slow. And since then we've been able to qualify very far back in the pack. Hopefully things will change for the next race, which is going to be in Canada. But right now we are just trying to finish the race with some points. And looking at the standings, you can see our teammate Kamui Kobayashi in 20th place. So he's very far back into the field. And even if he had a faster car, it would be a lot of work to get past all those cars in front of him at this point of the race. This is Lewis Hamilton as we come in through turn 8 with a broken wing and through the tunnel. That is Sergio Perez right behind. So looking at the standings here on the upper left, you can see that Fernando Alonso somewhere, sometime, had gotten past Lewis Hamilton. It may have been through the pit stops, but he's the car that is ahead of Lewis Hamilton now.
I believe that.
The car behind is lapping faster than us by around a second a lap.
There you have it. He is much faster
That
than
time
us.
is based on the fact that we have such a surplus of fuel.
So again, by the calculations, if you look at our surplus of fuel, it's very possible that we may be losing maybe an average of 1.5 seconds per lap to the car behind us, who may not have as much fuel as we're carrying. There you saw it again, another puff of smoke from Lewis Hamilton. But the car continues to circle around with a broken wing, just fast enough to keep the other cars behind. So this is on board with Sergio Perez, and right behind him a very long train of cars. And this is Fernando Alonso coming in through the hairpin of turn 6. He is 14.6 seconds behind now, so he is making time. So that is the McLaren Going around ahead of Fernando Alonso, he will be Lando Norris, and he is 1 lap ahead now of Fernando Alonso. So he will be coming around from second place to lap slower cars. And with just a little bit of math, you can see now that Max Verstappen, who is ahead of Lando Norris, should be coming up to Mars Medina in the number 66, who is in 5th place pretty soon, to put him down 1 lap. So look at the light boxes around the track. They will start to flash blue for the number 66 here.
No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving.
5.61 laps of extra fuel. .45 seconds now behind Charles Leclerc in 4th place.
Let's put on reds. Nope, he's got mediums.
And as we are circling the track, we are looking at the timing on the upper left, and we are wondering if Charles Leclerc does have a set of reds, as he is going so much faster than the 66 here. But again, the 66, a very slow car through the practice and qualifying sessions, now carrying at least an extra 5 laps of fuel, so very slow here. but on the lower right of the screen you can see here that the car is actually in very good shape, but again, for some reason, a little bit slower than the previous races in the season so far. And we are in our second race with this engine, so we have been suffering
Car's suffering the
lack of power.
Coming into turn 1.
Turn 19, another reminder to like, share, and subscribe. It helps us reach other race fans like you. And we are starting lap 65 of 78, coming in through turn 1. And just in the background there, you see the Red Bull of Max Verstappen, who is in the lead. And again, you should watch for the light boxes around the track. They will start to flash blue for us, indicating a blue flag for Max Verstappen, and we will have to let him by as soon as he gets just near enough. Of lap 65, we are at a surplus of just about 6 laps of fuel. And again, mechanically, this is costing us at least 2 seconds a lap.
Gap to your teammate behind, 43.6 seconds.
Here is the 66 coming down through turn 10 and turn 11, and just behind the lead car of the Monaco Grand Prix, that is Max Verstappen in a Red Bull. Turn 1, we got to look at the timing on the steering wheel. That lap, last lap, we were 1.28 seconds behind our fastest lap. And even though we have a set of the mediums, which are faster tires than the hard tires, our car is still pretty heavy loaded with fuel. Again, we reiterate that is what is slowing us down as we lap around here at the closing laps in Monaco. Lap 67 now of 78. Looking back at Lewis Hamilton, he continues to circle with a broken front wing. He did change out of his
The Red Bull.
white hard tires, but the team did not see it fit to change the wing. Again, here at Monaco, track position is key, so they may have tried to save him the extra couple of seconds of not replacing the wing, just to keep him ahead of all these other cars. And if that was the strategy, obviously it's working here, because if you look at the timing and he did change the wing, he would be certainly out of the points here to finish the race. And very lucky for him, it's very difficult to pass here for the other cars as long as he stays fast enough. So back with the number 66.
Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them.
Mars Medina looking for Max Verstappen to come around. Right now he is not showing up in our proximity arrows. So we are actually lapping pretty well. There you saw it a little bit. He's not too far away, but he's just a little over a second behind. Coming out of turn 19 as we start to cross the start-finish line once again. 69 laps of 78.
Definitely understeer.
Okay, gap to the car in front, 45.8 seconds.
Very wide at the hairpin, just close enough to maybe rub the wall, but that time we avoided it. Again, looking at our damaged HUD here on the lower right of the screen. Tires are in good shape, but you can see there that the car is 100% all together. No damage whatsoever on the wings or the undercarriage. Again, indications show that the car is in very good mechanical shape. There is the proximity arrow for Max Verstappen behind us. Lap 70 of 78. We now have 6.22 laps of extra fuel. Still no blue flag for letting Max Verstappen through. So the last last several laps have been pretty fast for the number 66 here, as we are able to keep the lead car at bay. There you see him coming in through Larascas. And as he gets closer and closer, we'll start to see there we are, the blue flags coming around the track. There is the blue light out of the light box. So he is within 1 second now, and we are going to have to start to consider letting him through, I believe within 5 turns. And you can see here that we are getting the signal to let him through. There we are. So before we get down to the hairpin, he gets through.
That should be Max. He did bump me. Or nothing.
Slow hairpin here of turn 6. We are very close to Max Verstappen, who is the lead car, and at lap 73 of 78, he has come around to put us 1 lap down. Looking back at the number 66 through the tunnel. And that second car that you see back there, that is the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc, I believe. Oh, a very big slide there for the 66 as he tries to put the power down coming out of turn 16.
Front tires are gone.
Again, looking back from the lead car of Max Verstappen. Past the casino on the right on lap 74-78. We are 1 lap down now from Max Verstappen, just ahead.
By 54.7 seconds.
And our teammate, as you heard there, is 54 seconds behind. He is in the back of that train behind Lewis Hamilton, still circling the track with a broken wing, just enough to keep the cars just behind him. That is turn 10, turn 11.
That left front tire is going down. And rubbing the wall a little too much.
keep up here with Max Verstappen in the Red Bull, the number 66, exiting the tunnel. And now the Marina. No reason to pass Max
No
here
need to worry about the tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good.
if even possible. And you can see here in the standings that we are in 5th place, but we are behind the first place car, the lead car of the race, and we are 1 lap down. So at lap 76 we may only have to do 77 laps, as he will complete 78 when we cross the start finish line right behind him. There you saw a pop-up of proximity arrow for the car behind, which is Charles Leclerc in 2nd place. And looking at the timing there, he is... No, that's Lando Norris. That's Lando Norris that we're looking at, just behind the number 66 here. And we were waiting for, there we are, we were waiting for a long shot to see him coming through. So the 2nd place car that we thought was Charles Leclerc is actually Lando Norris. There he is in the orange McLaren. And this may be the last time we circle through turn 5 and the hairpin as we follow the lead car, who is now 1 lap ahead of the 66 here. Not a very bad race for the 66. Started in 17th place, and it looks like as long as we keep the car off the wall, we should be able to finish in 5th place. Very good points paying position for a slow car again. There we are.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
5th place. Not bad, I think we moved up 10. And we are driver of the day. Good race. Very difficult track.
And in the end, there was no Verstappen. Max Verstappen, he takes victory.
I mean, it looked like they were in a different category at points during the race, led every lap. I mean, what more can we say?
So decent result here for the number 66, coming in 5th place, starting off in 17th, and then achieving driver of the day. We have developments coming for the car, so we'll have to see how we do for the next race. Thanks for watching the Monaco Grand Prix here at Driving Immersion. Don't forget to give us a like and subscribe so you can get notified for the upcoming race. Don't forget to let us know what you think of the Monaco Grand Prix and comment below. We'll see you again next time.